Hi, and welcome to another vlog. It's been what seems like ages, or at least feels that way for me, but in reality it's only been about a month since I uploaded a video to YouTube. So I've obviously got quite a bit to say. I've been doing a fair bit in the last month. A fair bit of pretty much the same thing. You see, one of the main reasons I haven't made a video in this last month is I've been doing a lot of this.
Yeah, I've spotted an enemy soldier.
And unfortunately, I've been doing a hell of a lot of this. Yes, this all links into one of Steve Benway's videos where he asked what games dominate or have taken over your life. And although Battlefield 3 hasn't taken over my life in the sense that World of Warcraft has for some people, where that's all they do and all they think about, the spare time where I've got to play games or make YouTube videos has been pretty much filled by Battlefield 3. Or other FPS games, but I'll get onto that in a second. And I've been having a really great time playing Battlefield 3. I've watched other people's videos about it and, you know, heard their reflections. And I'm planning to put up my video, you know, as if this isn't enough. I'm going to put up another video talking about Battlefield 3. I want to go into the good and the numerous bad points of Battlefield 3. But despite all of those bad points, I have been having a fantastic time playing it. It's been a really welcome change from playing Call of Duty. It's a very different experience. The real necessity for teamwork and strategy and planning and supporting the other people in your team, I really enjoy that. Because it's not all about killing, or at least if you're not good at shooting, there are other things for you to do in that game to support those that are good at doing that. But I've been having a few problems, and I guess in some ways this is linked to me not putting other videos up more recently that I wanted to do. I've been having problems with the old HD PVR. I've got a Hauppauge, and it's temperamental at best. It's not, at least out of the box, it's not really designed to work with a Mac. And although I do have a home theatre PC, that's more temperamental than the Hauppauge. I've got to upgrade that, really. It's running on Vista, and Vista's a dog to use. So I've got a Mac Mini and the Hauppauge to record my my gameplay footage. Except it doesn't play nicely. Unfortunately, I was playing the other day and I thought I had recorded what for me was an awesome bit of gameplay. For decent players, that would be like, yeah, that's just every game I play. But I managed to get what I felt was a ridiculously long headshot, 491 meters, a real melon buster. Although I did have to take about 20 shots to get it, and luckily the guy was stupid or obliging enough to be lying there in that same position, probably trying to kill somebody else at the same time. And then, because I don't know, those of you that have played Battlefield 3, there's one map where it's on at 2 different levels. You know, you fight on this platform up here, then you parachute down or take a helicopter down 400, 500 meters to a base below it. And, you know, I was up in the top base, killed this guy, parachuted down, landed safely, took out a couple of other guys, and then got killed. And, you know, that was really exciting stuff for me, because normally my kill to death ratio is pretty much, you know, on a good day, it's the same. You know, quite often the deaths outweigh the kills by quite a bit. And so I was like, well, you know, I looked at the HD PVR, the light was on, I was like, yes, it's recorded. Played a little bit more, stopped it, looked on the Mac Mini, looked through the list of videos that have been recorded on it. That one was not there. How can it not be there? The light was on, it was recording. How is it not there? It wasn't. Yeah, another problem with this system. Either it doesn't record or it records and then doesn't actually record. But I checked the buffer. I don't know what made me think to have a look, but there it creates a buffer file. So I had a look at that. I copied it to a different location, looked at the buffer file, and it was in there. And here it is.
Hostile soldier. I've spotted a hostile soldier. Spotted a hostile soldier.
So as you could see, it was recorded. It's actually a lower quality than the normal 720 HD that the Hauppauge records. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure how the buffer works, but it was recorded, and yeah, all right. It's not going to be an amazing clip to put up on YouTube. Well, it is on YouTube, but you know, as a standalone clip. Because I thought it was impressive to hit someone from 491 meters until I did a search on YouTube, best headshot or longest headshot, and I saw people getting 975 meters. I mean, that's just mental to think. And one of the clips I saw, it pretty much looked like the guy parachuted down onto the top of a pylon, lay down, lined the shot up, crack, kills the guy, and I'm thinking, it took me 20 shots or more to get that guy to bust his melon. So it's a very cool game, and I'll spend more time talking about that in another video. But it's also brought me back to playing Modern Warfare 2. It might be also the hype surrounding Modern Warfare 3, because there have been a lot of adverts on television. And you might ask yourself, well, why not Modern Warfare 3? Well, actually, I don't have a lot of money, and I had to make the choice, really. Am I going to have Battlefield 3, or am I going to wait a little bit longer and get Modern Warfare 3 on release day? And reading the reviews, looking at things about Modern Warfare 3, it definitely seemed, and I think I was quite right, that it's really very similar to Modern Warfare 2. I mean, this is the multiplayer that I'm talking about. So I thought, I'm not really going to be getting a vastly different experience from playing Modern Warfare 3, whereas Battlefield 3 is quite a different game. Although it's the same genre, it does feel very different to play. So I just felt like a change. I will get Modern Warfare 3. I know it's a fantastic game, but I'll just wait a little while longer. I mean, I didn't get Modern Warfare 2 until just before Black Ops came out. And so I've gone back to playing that on multiplayer. Multiplayer, I generally play free-for-all. I do play a few of the team games, but I just like the frantic running around shooting craziness. I mean, I'm not a very patient player, I think, and that's probably why I enjoy free-for-all, because if you see it, you just shoot it, and then that's pretty much all there is to it. So it's a good bit of fun, and it's strange that Modern Warfare 2, how much I do like it, when at the same time it annoys me. Or at least it's got annoying elements. You know, it's got the quick scoping, ability to quick scope. I know people love that, but for me, I just kind of feel that a sniper rifle should be a long-range weapon, and you shouldn't be able to run around the map using it like it's a rail gun from Quake. There's also the commando perk. I mean, it's bad enough that you can kill someone, you can just bump into someone and hit the melee button and stab them and kill them. But with the commando perk, the range is just ridiculous. It feels like you can stab someone on the other side of the room. So that's annoying. And then there's the kill streaks. Some of the like the AC 130 kill streak. I mean, it is fun when you get it, but oh my god, when you have to deal with playing against really good players who keep getting that kill streak, you just get absolutely murdered, and there's nothing much you can do about it apart from cowering indoors, because you can't take it out with rocket launchers like you can the helicopters and Harriers and other things that are the other kill streaks. And they sorted all those problems out in Black Ops. And to be honest, I'm actually a better Black Ops player. I do better at it, you know. But I still really like Modern Warfare 2, and I can't even really fathom why I like it so much, but it is very cool. So I've been playing a bit of Modern Warfare 2, a little bit of Black Ops, and a lot of Battlefield 3, and that's really been stopping me getting videos up on YouTube and doing anything else gaming related. I mean, in my last vlog, I mentioned that I'd started Dead Space, and I've probably played about another half an hour of Dead Space in that time, which is tragic, because from the first 10 minutes I could tell it was an amazing game, and it's really cool. And I've got Dead Space 2 sitting on the shelf that still needs to be played, and Red Dead Redemption, and god, there are other, and I haven't finished LA Noire. Yeah, there's just so much, and all the retro stuff that needs playing as well. It's just, there's not enough hours in the day for gaming. It's a fantastic hobby. Okay, well, on to the next thing that I'd like to talk about, and that is a response to a response. I left a response last month for Electric Adventures, and he was asking what gaming variants do you collect. And so, I don't know if any of you remember, I put up a video that said, you know, I want to collect Space Harrier stuff. The games. I want to get the game on every system. And, you know, I don't have much. I've got kind of 5 or 6 things in the collection. Can't really call it a collection, can you, when it's that small? But anyway. After that video, Interghost sent me a private message through YouTube, and he'd said, oh, check out this auction, or I think it was a buy it now actually, on eBay for a Spectrum version of the game. And it was, I think it was 99p, so I went straight ahead. Or was it 199 including postage and packing, something like that. So I went ahead and bought it, and here it is. And it's in good condition, apart from the plastic sleeve on the case is missing. So I'll have to get one of these cases at some point, but the cardboard sleeve is in very good condition. And also the important stuff, I guess, inside the tape looks amazingly good for something that's 25 years old. So So that's brilliant. And then the booklet as well. Looks really nice. You know, a little bit of discoloration. There's a slight bit of yellowing there, but God, when you consider how old it is, fantastic. So I've got that now. Might seem a bit strange because I don't own a Spectrum, but the Spectrum is a really important part of my gaming history. Although I didn't own it, I played on one or numerous ones a lot. Probably had 4 or 5 friends who had Spectrum 48Ks, you know, the little black ones with the grey rubber keys. Never owned one myself, but would like to in the future. They are very, very cool pieces of gaming history. But what I do own, which I again never had at the time, was a Commodore 64. And while I was looking for the Spectrum version, it threw up some other things you might be interested in. And yes, I got the Commodore 64 edition. Looks almost the same, apart from it says Commodore cassette on it rather than Spectrum cassette. Again, looking pretty good. I mean, it's like fantastic condition as well. The booklet, really great. So, very happy to have both of those in the Space Harrier collection. But then it led me on to looking for something else. You know, I love the Master System, and although I've got Space Harrier on the Master System, I don't have the 3D version. And I found an auction as someone was selling off their Master System collection, and they were all starting at 99p. So I bid to get Space Harrier 3D, and I got outbid. Yeah, it went for £4.66, and I was a little bit too tight. I think it was £4.44 or something is what was my maximum offer. It didn't have a booklet with it, and I don't know. I was thinking if I want it for the collection, it should really have the booklet. So that's why I didn't go for more. But after I'd lost out on that, of course, eBay starts suggesting other things you might be interested in. And I happened to notice Space Harrier on the Master System, which I've got. And I know I said I wouldn't collect different variants, but something in my head said, well, it's a Japanese game, you should really have the Japanese edition. So that's what I did. Yeah, here it is, the Japanese cartridge. Now normally this sells often, although I have seen it cheaper, for about £15 on eBay, which is a bit steep really, isn't it? But I found it for £11.20 something, plus I had to pay £3 postage and packing, so it was about £15. But what made this one different is that it was boxed. Yeah, so it came with these little gold boxes. I never realised how small they were. They're really quite cute. Love it. I mean, it's not in the best condition, but it is in pretty good condition considering it's 25 years old, and the booklet is in nice condition as well. The cartridge is, it's like, they listed it, this was from Hit Japan, and they listed it as a B grade cartridge. I honestly don't know what an A grade cartridge would look like, because it looks mint to me. It's bright white, the pins have no oxidization, it's fantastic. Hardly looks like it's been played. So I got that, but then I saw something else, because they also had the 3D version. They wanted $28 for it, and so I thought, well, that's a bit steep, because I think this one was $18. So I offered them the same amount again, and they came back and said, oh, how about $27? I was like, oh, no. So I sent one more bid in for $19.50, and they accepted. So here it is, the 3D version of Space Harrier on the Master System, or the Mark III if you've got that. Not in quite as good condition as that one. There is a slight bit of discoloration. I don't know if I put them side by side if you can see. This one is has a little bit of yellowing, but still very good condition. Very happy with that, and also It's boxed. Ah, yes. But this box is in much better condition. Alright, again, it's not mint, but it's pretty close. There's a tiny little smudge on the side, and the booklet is immaculate. So for that money, I'm happy with that. Now again, this might seem like a stupid purchase because I don't have a Mark III or a Japanese Master System, but it's something that I really, really, really want to get. I just got to see it at a reasonable price, because at the moment, if I wanted it boxed, it would be about £150 including shipping, or around about £100 unboxed, maybe more. So it's steep. It's not the kind of money that I'm prepared to pay for a retro system. Maybe if I become flush at some point, I might get it. I mean, I would rather pay a little bit more and get a Neo Geo, to be honest. But I'm happy to have these in the collection. They are collector's pieces as far as I'm concerned. The only collector's pieces that I've, this Space Harrier collection for me at the moment, it's kind of the only collection, sort of. Well, this kind of leads into the next point, because that's not really a shopping spree, is it? No. I felt kind of inspired by what Lawn Boy had been doing with his Mega Drive collection, because it's this idea of kind of like reclaiming your youth, because the Sega Master System was quite a big part of my childhood, as the gaming part of my childhood. And I decided I want to have back all of those Master System games that I owned, and the ones that I played a lot, because I didn't actually have that many Master System games. The majority of the games I played were owned by a friend whose parents had a bit more money than mine, and they could afford to because it was him and his brother, and so from time to time his dad would come back from work and bring him back a new Master System game. So I got to play them round at his house, and once he was bored of them, I got to borrow them. So I want to get all of those games as well. And that's where the kind of shopping spree bit came in, because again, these things that I got were quite cheap, but I kind of splurged, and I can't really afford them, but I had to get them because they were reasonable prices. The first thing I'll show you is the last thing that I bought, and it's actually a series of unboxed Master System games. Actually, there's two more. I'll show you these ones first, because these ones are in pretty tatty condition. There's the Donald Duck and the Lucky Dime Caper, which I've actually got a box copy of that. I've never played it, but I think it was £1, so I bought it from a car boot sale. And Sonic the Hedgehog. Not so bothered about that, because that's really a Mega Drive game, not a Master System game. Why you'd want to play it on the Master System these days? I mean, alright, if you had a Master System when you were a kid and couldn't afford a Mega Drive, of course, but anyway. Now, I got some other games. These are in relatively good condition, some of them very good condition, the cartridges. This whole lot, all 12 of them, was about £8 including postage and packing, so it's less than £1 a cartridge. And I was quite happy because there's one in here that I really wanted. So I got, this was one I definitely remember playing as a kid, Afterburner, Mickey Mouse and the Castle of Illusion, Operation Wolf. Never played this before, but Asterix, Golden Axe. Oh man, I don't like it now, but as a kid, this was one I loved playing on the Master System. I was so jealous of my friend having that, and me not having it. 2 copies of California Games, which I didn't really play on the Master System, but I do like the game. I've played it on other systems. And then Spy vs Spy. This is something I remember from the Acorn Electron, and it's quite good. I had a quick go of that on the Master System, not bad. This one is Poseidon Wars 3D. Now I thought I thought it might be a nice idea because there aren't very many of them to collect all of the 3D titles. So when I was looking at Space Harrier 3D, I thought, oh, yeah, that's a nice idea. No, they're very expensive. The 3D glasses are very expensive. Most people don't want to let go of them if they're boxed for less than about £80. That's a little bit rich for my taste. But the one thing that I really wanted this for was Choplifter. Oh man, I absolutely love this game. I mean, I mentioned in my Ultimate Arcade video that I love Defender, and there are a lot of similarities between Choplifter and Defender. You know, you're shooting things and saving people. Brilliant. A winning combination as far as I'm concerned. And Choplifter is something that I go back to time and time again. It's just a game that I don't tire of. Probably because it's fiendishly difficult, at least the third level. It starts to become really, really difficult. So I picked those up after I'd picked up some other games. And so it's this idea of getting things that I had or loved as a kid. And so I found a couple of lots. So it seemed like people were selling off their Master System collections, or probably just clearing out their attic and getting rid of what they had. And they were all, you know, they were all auctions starting at 99p. And for most of them, I got them for either 99p or just a little bit more than. And the first one was one, and again, this kind of links into another open tag. I can't remember whose tag this was, but about Christmas memory. Maybe it was Lawn Boy. What's your greatest Christmas gaming memory? I won't answer that right now, but one that's a happy Christmas gaming memory was getting this, Thunderblade. It's not a great game, but I can remember getting it on Christmas Day and playing it the whole day. In fact, I played it for weeks after that. It's a top-down shooter for part of it, and it's a 3D, like Space Harrier style on rails shooter for half of it as well. You know, it alternates between the two styles. And it's something that I had to get back in my collection, and for 99p, in the condition it's in, I don't know whether you can really see, the booklet's in good condition. The cartridge looks like it's never been touched. So yeah, and the case is okay. So I'm very happy to add that one to the collection. So I got that, and then another game that I had, which I don't actually have in my collection, and I know it's not expensive, so I need to get it, is Shinobi. But then I took a punt on a couple of other Shinobi related titles that are on the Master System. Again, well, this one was cheap, the Cyber Shinobi, and it's in fantastic condition. Looks like it's, apart from somebody writing on the instruction manual in pencil a little bit, it looks like it hasn't been touched. And with good reason, because it is a bad game. I will try and play it a little bit more, but God, after about 10-15 minutes of it, I wanted to throw the cartridge away. But won't, because you know, I'll keep it in the collection. So it wasn't something that I ever had or had ever played, and neither was this. But I was quite interested in it. Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, and this is actually a very good game. A nice little sideways scrolling platformer. I guess in many ways Alex Kidd is Sega's answer to Mario. He's not as good as Mario, but still good fun. Still good fun. Okay, now there was one game that I couldn't really put my finger on why I liked it as a kid, because it's not a particularly great game, but I have memories of playing it a lot, and that is Action Fighter. Again, it's another top-down shooter with, you know, overhead view of a road, and you start off as the motorbike from Hang On, and then I guess in some ways it's a little bit like Knight Rider. You have to collect power-ups to get onto the truck, the Sega truck, and it gives you more power-ups, and you end up becoming a car, and then that car becomes a flying car, and you go and shoot some stuff, and it becomes a shoot 'em up. So it's a nice game, and I quite enjoyed playing it again. It's not fantastic, but I can see myself coming back to it time and time again, just for a little bit of a quick sort of 10-15 minute game of it. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever thought that a game on one system was actually the same game on another system, or got them confused. I did. Rambo 3. Now, I remember Rambo 3 on the Mega Drive, and it is a very different game to Rambo 3 on the Master System. I mean, the little shooting up here in the corner, that should have given it away, really. It is actually, yeah, it is. It's a light phaser game, and it's an Operation Wolf rip-off. I haven't actually played it, so I can't really pass judgment, because I don't have a light phaser. I'll have to get them. In fact, they tend to be relatively cheap. You can normally pick those up for less than £10. Now, there's another game that I got. I actually picked this up for my girlfriend. It's not something that I ever played on the Master System, but after giving it a quick go, I was really happy to see that it holds up really, really well. I remember it from the Amiga, and that is New Zealand Story. This is a fantastic version. I'm not going to say it's arcade perfect, but for a Master System game, it's absolutely brilliant and incredibly, incredibly cute. So, New Zealand Story, I hope my girlfriend will enjoy playing that. And another two games that I got this is an original and a sequel that I absolutely love, and in some ways is connected to Space Harrier, if only loosely by the name. That is Fantasy Zone. Yeah, Fantasy Zone 1 and 2. I love these games. They're so bright and colourful, and are really good fun to play. Nice little shooters, nothing complicated about them. Challenging, but not too difficult. And I guess I just have really fond memories, especially of playing Fantasy Zone, the original Fantasy Zone. I never owned it, but my friend had it, and I've played it again since getting this edition, and I've played Fantasy Zone 2 again, and still love them. Absolutely love them. Fantastic, fantastic games. So really happy to have those in the collection. Now, I was saying earlier Choplifter being a favourite, and I will have to pick up a boxed copy of Choplifter at some point because I love it so much. But there are a few other, what I would say are my top games on the Master System, but one of them that I absolutely love, and still, after I played it for about 2-3 hours the other day. I mean, this is probably the only other thing, apart from talking about Battlefield taking up my life. Yeah, maybe it was 2 hours, not 3. This is the only other game that I really spent quite a bit of time playing, and it is this. Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Man, I absolutely love this game. Again, it's one I didn't own. My friend had it. I used to love going around his house to play it and couldn't wait until he was bored with it so I could get it. I've never beaten it. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to continue playing this bad boy until I finish it because it is fantastic. A really nice little sideways scrolling platformer, good game mechanics, and with little RPG elements in there because you can level up your armor and your shield and your sword and go on a little quest. Fantastic. Really, I mean, I have a lot of good things to say about that, and I think that's one that might get a review at some point in the future because I like it that much. And then I also picked up Wonder Boy 3 The Dragon's Trap. Again, very good. I don't love it in quite the same way I do the second Wonder Boy game, but again, this is of a similar style. I mean, Wonder Boy 2, Wonder Boy 3, and I think the subsequent Wonder Boy games are completely different to the original Wonder Boy. I'm not such a big fan of the original, but yeah, number 3 is good. Unfortunately, this one's the cartridge is in good condition, but it didn't come with a manual, whereas all the other games came with manuals. And I think it was a couple of pounds I paid for this as well. I think maybe I overpaid for that one, but you know, it's something I'll enjoy playing after I finish Wonder Boy if I finish Wonder Boy Monsterland, because it is quite a tough game as it progresses. There were a couple of other little things I picked up. One more thing off eBay, and this is related to this idea of getting back your childhood. Because for me, the first home system I played, it was my uncle's, was a BBC Model B, and I've got some really great memories of because my parents would take us on holiday to my nan's, and at the time my uncle lived with my nan, and it was fantastic going to visit them. And it was also, we'd always go for at least 2 weeks. I don't know, it felt like a month we would go for, but I'm sure it wasn't that long. At least a couple of weeks, and I'd get to play video games. I would get to play video games. I loved it, and also it meant because they live near Brighton, it meant we got to go to the arcades, which was fantastic. But one of my favourite, and still it has to be one of my favourite games of all time, is this, Planetoid. Why is Planetoid so great? Because it's Defender. It is essentially Defender. Apart from being called Defender, there's really not a lot of difference. I cannot believe Acorn Soft didn't get destroyed by Williams after releasing this. I mean, were people not suing each other over copyright back in those days? Unbelievable. And all of the other games they released in this series were just arcade games, rewritten and dressed up, barely. I mean, but I love it. I just, love Planetoid. And it's got the cassette in there, and it's got some instructions, and it's so cute. I mean, it tells you all about the other little characters that are in the game, the other spaceships, the invaders that you've got to destroy. Oh, brilliant. So Defender and Planetoid, the same game really, and something that I absolutely love, like Choplifter. It's something about shooting at the enemies and rescuing people that I really, really like. So that's almost it for the pickups. I did go to a car boot sale last week. It was wet and windy and rainy. There wasn't much of a turnout. I did pick up a couple of Ninja Turtle comic books, which made getting out of bed at 6:30 in the morning worthwhile. They weren't valuable comic books, but they were, again, something I had in my teenage years, they were actually the graphic novels, the first 2 graphic novels, and I sold them back to the comic shop that I bought them for much less than I paid, unfortunately, along with lots of other comics, which I still wish I had, stuff like Aliens versus Predator and things like that. And as you can imagine, it was because I wanted to get another game, so I needed some quick cash, and probably regret doing that now. But at this car boot sale, there was one other thing that I picked. I did pick up some Dreamcast games, nothing special, you know, Crazy Taxi and Resident Evil, Codename Veronica, and Soul Calibur. I think one of them, I think I'd already got Soul Calibur, but it was in such good condition I picked up. They were £1 each. But then I picked up 7, I got some PC, I think 4 PC games and 3 Xbox games for £5. And one of them, I won't bother showing you them because they're nothing too special, but this I think is, and it's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but it's for the packaging I picked up for that. I mean, I've said this before in a previous video, I'm not a massive fan of the Grand Theft Auto series, and although this is probably the best one, but it was the packaging that I liked about it, because this is just the cardboard sleeve, but inside I was really happy to find it has the well, it's a poster on one side, but it's also, I don't want to rip it up, I'm not going to unfold it because I'll end up ripping it probably. But it's also the map, the game map. So there's that in very good condition. But the thing I wanted it for is this, the instruction manual is a hardback book. with glossy pages full of information about all of the things in San Andreas, full of adverts. I mean, it's got little maps in there as well. Beautifully produced. I really haven't seen anything like this on any other game, so I just had to have it. And for less than £1, I mean, you can't really complain. And then it's got the DVD, the DVD-ROM in the back on a little kind of like spongy bung thing there that it sits on. Fantastic. So happy to get that. And if I get back into PC gaming, I'll definitely give that a whirl. So, well, that kind of brings me to the end of this. I hope it wasn't too boring for you to see all those pickups and stuff. And I'm planning to get, I've got a couple of response videos that I want to make. Like I said, the reflections on Battlefield, and then I'm going to be working on the next episode of Gamer's Living Room. So thank you very much for watching this, and hopefully I'll have something up again soon. So, from my spare room to wherever you are, this is Simon signing off. Bye bye.